welcome. It's Jay Barty. We're here. Let me go ahead and put the window up so you guys can actually hear me. I hope that's better. Okay, so good morning. I just dropped off my eldest daughter, so like we're on the way back to his house. And then I was just thinking that as much as I continue to voice what is the purpose of this channel, I'm not expressed who I'm aiming towards, because I'm not really aiming towards a specific person. It's not like I'm stating, I only want to deal with the 15 to 21, or the 22 to the 30, or the 31 to the 40. Like, there's not really an age group, because I feel like anybody can touch anybody's heart. It all depends on what you're going through, what experience you're going through, and what exactly is the message that you're putting out there. Because if I'm going through heartbreak and you talking about love and togetherness and fellowship of marriage, I'm gonna be like, nigga, I'm gonna need you, madam, to go ahead and get out my face. Get out my face. I don't want to hear what you're talking about, because I'm going through heartbreak. So your love, mushy, gushy thing is not phasing me. Not saying that I'm not happy for you. I just don't need it to be pushed up across me, because I'm going through heartbreak. Let me mend. Let me come back together. So that's how I feel about that. But with that being said, I feel like my message can get through to anyone that really is just searching for anything. And when I was thinking about how I wanted to kind of approach it, I guess I wanted to kind of just tell my story of where I came from and the shit that I put myself through and the things that I did, and then how when I totally went left and busted another left and took another right and took another left, and then went back left and did a U-turn left. We just went left and finally realized okay, I can only go up from here. Because our grandmas and all the other people used to say is once you hit the ground, you can only come up. You can't go any further than the cement. Once you done splat it on the floor, there's no more further you can go. Unless you start digging through that cement but then you're really looking for some other shit that I can't help you with. So, but if you are just at the you hit that cement and you ready to bounce back up, then we good. We on the same boat, because your girl, we was, that cement made marks and everything, indentations. You see these little marks that left, these little dots. But okay, so the whole thing that I thought about today was the initial understanding that I want anybody and everybody to get from me is that your self-worth is the ultimate thing that you must have an understanding, or at least be searching the understanding of who you are. By that I mean, you need to know who you are, what you stand for, what you don't stand for, what your love is, what your passion, what makes your blood boil, what makes you tick, what turns you from a 0 to 1,000, what gets who you are going. With me, you tell me to get out your house, or you try to kick me out your house, put me out your house, it turns me from Jackal to Hyde. I don't know how to explain it. You'd have to really try me to really understand. But that is something that just brings the fat girl all the way out of me, because it just makes my heart start doing some palpitations, and I'm just because I experienced that before. So that is something of my never ever going back to type of thing. So that is something you do to me, and it just brings oh, look, listen, my eyes start flashing. You think I'm having some kind of episode type shit. No, what's happening is I'm just reliving that misery and that pain, and you are just bringing me to a place that you do not want to have me in. That's all that is. I have buttons. Everybody does. You do. We all do. You just have to find out what those things are and then build across that. I don't like being homeless, so I make sure that I do everything in my power to not ever be homeless. So if Joanna does anything, if Jay Barty does anything, it is to acquire some form of financial stability. I don't even like the word stability, because what is stability? But whatever it is that I need to put in that little box to make sure that that little address that I have gets paid for, or whatever the address is. I don't give a damn if I was living in a camper on a little grounds. I still have an address and a P.O. box. So I still have to maintain that little area. it's not about where you're at, but it's about maintaining where you're at and growing from that. So with that being said, you have to know what your self-worth is. Like, what is it that means you? Like, what is it that you stand for? Once you know that, you're able to start loving yourself and all of your flaws. Once you start loving all of your flaws and you know who you are and you're accepting of who you are, it's one of those things that naturally everything starts flowing. It's kind of like once you put the little wires, the electric wires, in the right directions, like you plug them into what they're supposed to, and you plug them into that battery of your car, it will give the next car that touches you a jump. That's just how it works. It just gives it a natural, like a jump, because you slowly start getting ish together. Like, you're getting it. Like, if you notice, when you're not hungry and you just ate, you just came from that buffet, your mama just said, oh, it was your birthday last month, I'm gonna go ahead and treat you to Golden Corral, right? Mind you, within that day, somebody else gonna offer to feed you. Somebody else gonna say, oh, I forgot, girl, it was your birthday last week, let me go ahead and treat you to lunch this weekend. Somebody else, something else, I promise you, if it's like this energy, like if you rub your stuff, whatever, and then you touch some stuff and it like does the little fuzzy stuff, like that's what I mean. Like, when everything start getting right in your life, everything else is gonna fall into line. And you start thinking like, so when I was down, I ain't had shit. Like, you wasn't trying to help. You wasn't trying to do nothing. But now I have a little something. You just want to, here, take. But that's how life works. So you just kind of always need to give yourself that little boost. Like, you're the person that has to align those wires. You need to take your red wire. You need to take your black wire. All of the reds is pretty much all the shit you done did to yourself. All of the shit you done did. And just like, to fuck shit up. All of the black wires is you trying to slowly get shit back into line. You align them and you put them on the right head. That battery has a color. It tells you. The same way life has a color. It tells you. You ride into that store, you put your hand in your pocket like it's a gun, most likely gonna think it's a gun, and you probably gonna do some time. That's the red wire. Very, very red wire. The point is, once you slowly start putting your wires together and it says put red here, put black here, you put them there, it will give your life a surge. It will give your life a surge. So as low as you touch that cement ground and your face was down and out and you ain't had shit, you didn't have no body, you didn't have nothing, you didn't have a place, you didn't have a car, you didn't have no food, you had to scrounge up $3.10. Struggles of the past. But excuse me, y'all, I'm getting over the cold. But when you use all of the struggles that you experience and then you pretty much just start aligning yourself and things start working out, you start getting your faith to be stronger. Because we all have questions within, whatever we're doing when it's not fully coming together. It's not making the big picture. When you're working, you're taking care of all your issues. You ain't got money issues. You don't have no relationship issues. Your relationship is good. Your kids are good. Your bills are good. Everything is good. You don't question shit. You don't question nothing. You only question life when there start to be little like, once there's little bumps in the hurdle, you're like, oh, well, what am I doing? Like, why ain't this going on? I mean, Tyrone's is looking real straight, and he just, and then Michelle, and then, like, but, I mean, you are not aligning you're not giving yourself that surge. You're just staying still. Now, if my car continues to give me little flickers every time I start it, and I refuse to acknowledge that my battery is probably going out and I probably need a new battery, it doesn't matter how many times they give you that jump. And you pull over, the fine low, how you doing? Pull over and go ahead and, and they give you that jump, it's going to start your car. You're going to get from here to the next light. And then when it's time for that car to take a little pause, don't fuck around and actually have you a stick and have to ride on neutral because you were stuck in traffic. You really about to look like Boo Boo the Fool because somebody else gonna have to be a blessing in disguise and jump you again. Or you could just find out what the initial issue of who you are and what the problem is and why your battery keep going out. Get a new battery, and then you ain't gotta keep getting jumps because your car is just going. But yes, so the purpose of all of this that I've said is find out who you are. Find out what makes you happy. Find out what makes your heart jump and makes your blood boil. Find out what makes you you. And then you'll start loving you in the flaws, the good, the bad. Once you love you, everybody else will start loving you. Everything else around you will start becoming what it needs to be.